Good morning, Shabbat Shalom. Oh, it is wonderful to have a full sanctuary on Shabbat morning. It is wonderful to see all of you and to welcome those who are joining us online. As this Shabbat, we celebrate our confirmation class. This is always one of my favorite Shabbat services. The kids spend a lot of time, they're not kids, these emerging young adults, spent their time writing beautiful statements, which we hope that you will take in this morning as they reflect on what it means for them to confirm for themselves being Jewish. And so it is an honor now that we welcome in our confirmation class of 2023, 5783, and they should be coming through the back doors in just a moment. And as we welcome them in and welcome in this Shabbat morning, we turn to page 1 in our prayer books as we join together singing Matovu.
Matovu, ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. Matovu, ohalecha Yaakov, ohalecha Yaakov, mishkenotecha Yisrael. The quote taken from the book of Numbers was supposed to start out as a curse and became a blessing. And as our doors were opened this morning, we see before us the blessings of the last generation of Jews up here. It's all on them, but no pressure. But how goodly are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And on the next page, on the top of page 2, we go from awe to gratitude as we are grateful for our lives on this Shabbat. I thank you for my life, body and soul. Help me realize I am beautiful and whole. I'm perfect the way I am, and a little broken too. I will live each day as a gift I give to you. Baruch atah Adonai. Rofeicho basar umafli laso. Baruch atah Adonai. Rofeicho basar umafli laso.
At this point in my life, I am Jewish because I want to be, because it's something that brings me closer to my community, my family, and myself. My parents never forced me to have a bat mitzvah service or to go through confirmation, so deciding to continue my Jewish education isn't a new decision that I've made recently. It's just the next natural step. It has, however, given me a chance to reflect on why going through confirmation, going to Sunday school, and being Jewish in general are things that are important to me. I can ask myself, if no one's forcing me to do this, then why am I? A big reason is the community of friends that I have here and in my class. I can honestly say that if I had been in class with a bunch of people that I didn't like for 10 years, I wouldn't still be here doing any of this. As I've continued to make friends throughout the years, I've also continued to get more meaning out of Sunday school, and I've enjoyed it so much more as religious school has morphed into religious conversation. Being able to talk about deep topics, ask questions, and go off topic has allowed me to see this as an experience I can gain something meaningful from, rather than something I just have to sit through. As I've gotten older, being Jewish has become more and more important to my identity, and even when I'm not sure how exactly it will play a role in my future, I know it will be an important one that I will hold close to my heart.
At this point in my life, I confirm the following about my being Jewish. When I was born, I was given the Hebrew name Hannah Rochel that came from my grandmother Audrey, which was the start of my Jewish upbringing. While I never knew her, I know that a lot of what I do takes after her. My Gigi played tennis and badminton, and I play competitive tennis. When I entered Sunday school in kindergarten, I learned the Jewish song Don't Walk, which talks about walking alongside people and being friends instead of in front or behind. The idea of being there for others has always been important to me. Through the past 10 years, I've attended services with my family, attended many Shabbos dinners, become a bat mitzvah, and celebrated the Jewish holidays with family and friends. As I got older, I went to Camp Ben Frankel, where my Jewish identity became stronger. We had services every morning and celebrated Shabbat every week, singing Jewish songs and connecting with Jewish people from all around the world. To this day, I continue to connect with my friends from camp who live in Israel, England, and across the U.S. Through high school, I've started teaching Jewish children to play tennis and attended Jewish events hosted by JSU. My family and I continue to celebrate Shabbos as often as we can, celebrate all the Jewish holidays, and light Hanukkah candles with my grandparents across FaceTime. This year in confirmation, we went to Washington, D.C., where we learned about what we as Jewish people can do to have our voice heard. What I have learned at this point in my life, I will carry with me into the future. While I know I was born into Judaism, I've come to realize that the beliefs, traditions, and values I have been taught go along with what I believe. I am proud to be Jewish.
Good morning. I am Jewish. I am proud to be Jewish. For me, being Jewish isn't just a religion, and it isn't just something you can define. Being Jewish is a way of life, and it is different for everyone. Part of my Jewish identity is getting to be with some of my Jewish friends during Sunday school every weekend. My grade and I have been really close at UH for many years, and my Jewish journey would not be the same without them. It is amazing getting to be with my friends every Sunday. I got to go to Washington, D.C. in February with some of my friends from UH. This was a very surreal trip for me. I learned a lot from the museums like the Holocaust Museum and the Jewish War Veteran Museum, while also having fun seeing monuments and being with my friends. I will always remember going to DC. Every minute of it, from riding the metro to getting to tour the Capitol to learning about lobbying at AIPAC. This trip represents an important page in my Jewish journey. Another page in my Jewish journey was my bar mitzvah year. I enjoyed getting to celebrate with my friends at Leil Bar and Bar Mitzvah services. This was an important time for my friends and me, along with many Jews who celebrated the B'nai Mitzvahs. My Bar Mitzvah service was supposed to be in April, but 3 weeks before my service, we had to reschedule because of COVID. I celebrated my Bar Mitzvah on Halloween. While I was not able to have many of my friends here, I was still able to have some. It was an amazing day, even though it was in the height of COVID. These two events were just 2 pages in my Jewish journey. While confirmation is the end of one chapter, it is also the beginning of the next. I look forward to the next chapter of my Jewish journey. Thank you. We read responsibly in the middle of page 2. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who created a world of luminous wonder, who created a world of radiant splendor, who created a world of shimmery glory, source of life and health, well of joy and love, fountain of forgiveness and hope, who provides rest and renewal, who provides strength and fortitude, who provides wisdom and understanding, who delights in prayer, who delights in charity, who delights in service. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, creator of this new day, source of substance. Bless the works of the hand, and so that we can become a source of holiness and healing.
Good morning, everyone. I'm here to talk to you about what being Jewish means to me and how my experience of going to religious school has shaped my identity. I'll be honest with you. When I was growing up, I didn't want to go to religious school. I thought it was boring and irrelevant to my life, but my parents insisted on me going, and looking back, I'm glad they won the fight over it. Going to religious school has taught me about the history, traditions, and values of Judaism. It gave me a sense of community and belonging that I couldn't find anywhere else. It also challenged me to think critically and ask questions about my faith, which has made me a more thoughtful and compassionate person. For the past 8 years, I have spent my summers at Camp Sabra, which is a Jewish summer camp. Camp Sabra helped me feel closer to Judaism in a number of ways. For one, it provided a space where I could explore my beliefs and culture. I was surrounded by people who shared similar backgrounds and values, which made me feel like I was a part of something bigger than myself. Additionally, the camp's programming was designed to help us connect with our beliefs in meaningful ways, whether through song, prayer, or storytelling. It was an opportunity to make new friends, learn important skills, and deepen my connection to Judaism. I have so many fond memories of singing songs around the campfire, swimming in the lake, and celebrating Shabbat. More than that, though, I feel like I gained a sense of confidence and independence that has stayed with me through this day. Being Jewish means different things to different people. For me, it means embracing my heritage and culture, but also being open to learning about other cultures. It means celebrating holidays with family and friends and finding joy in the simple pleasures of life. It means striving to make the world a better place, one act of kindness at a time. In conclusion, I'm proud to be Jewish, and I'm grateful for the experiences that have shaped my identity. I hope that by sharing my story, I can inspire others to explore their own faith and values and to find meaning and purpose in their lives. While this is an end to my formal Jewish education, I hope it's just the beginning.
Hello, everyone. Today I'm being confirmed as a Jew. Judaism to me is about traditions. One example is the rings that have been passed down through my family. My Mimi chose our bar mitzvahs to pass down family rings that belonged to our great-grandfathers. I got a ring that belonged to Jack Herman Faintage, the great-grandfather I am named after. Another example is having people over for the holidays. We typically host Break the Fast on Yom Kippur. I love that we make my grandfather Marty Freeman's secret cooler recipe. It's so good, people bring containers for leftovers. Singing around the Hanukkah candles is another special tradition because of the deep connection I feel to strong words and music. The craziest and most silly tradition is the Aleinu. Years ago, my grandfather, David Faintage, changed the words to this prayer. Instead of saying Ushamo, we look at each other and say, You're a schmo. When we sing Lador Vador, instead we say Lador, the door. Although probably not appropriate, it is very, very funny to us. Simple changes in words can result in traditions that are passed down for generations. Lador Vador. I am the 5th generation of my family to attend United Hebrew, and the 3rd to be confirmed here. This is a more meaningful tradition to me that I am proud to carry on. I hope I can pass this tradition on to my children as well. I would like to thank my late grandparents, Marty Freeman, Carol Faintage, and David Faintage, my late guinea pig, Winston Faintage, my late dog, Sydney, my mom, dad, brother, Nana, Doda, and uncles and dogs, which names are Max and Louie, for always supporting my Judaism. Thank you.
Please rise for the Baruch Hu.
Author of life, architect of creation, artist of earth, your works declare your holy name. Mighty rivers, turbulent seas, towering mountains, rolling hills, vast spaces of brilliance and grandeur. Your created palette and paint, color and hue, shape and form, abundant and beautiful, glorious and majestic, full of mystery and wonder. Blessed are you, with divine love you created a world of splendor. Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMe'orot.
Once or twice in a lifetime, a man or a woman may choose a radical leaving having heard Lech Lecha, go forth. God disturbs us toward our destiny by hard events and by freedom's now urgent voice, which explode and confirm who we are. We don't like leaving, but God loves becoming.
Baruch atah Adonai, habocher ba'amo Yisrael be'ahava.
Israel, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
You may be seated.
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאור על ידיך וחיו לטובתו בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם אלוהים אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
When we were asked to write these speeches, the first thing that came to my mind was the first day of confirmation. On the first day, we walked into the library, and Rabbi Reinhardt asked us to share our favorite memories from all of our years of Sunday school. As we went around sharing, it was the first time it hit me that we had all grown up together. As these memories were shared, I remembered the times we went through and the connections we made. And that is what Judaism is to me, connections. My whole life revolves around the Jewish connections that I or others have made. My Jewish connections started at age 5, or even before that, when I walked into Sunday school class for the first time. Since then, I've had multiple moments that my Judaism has shown in my relationships and connections. At the end of my freshman year, I was looking for a job. My sister already worked here at UH at the daycare, and it was a great job. Now I work at the preschool in the afternoons 5 days a week. My favorite part of the preschool is when I get to go to Shabbat on Fridays. The kids love it. They dance and sing. It is truly one of my favorite things about the preschool. When I take out my ukulele to play with them, all they ask for is Shabbat Shalom. It makes me so happy and excited for them, these little kids who are just starting their Jewish education in life. In 4th grade, we had a new Hebrew school teacher. 6 years later, I am working with her and babysitting her 2 children, one of whom she was pregnant with at the time of her teaching us. I go to a Jewish overnight camp every summer, as most of you probably know, because it is all I talk about. That is how I knew Rabbi Reinhardt before he came to UH. He was the famous Rhino all over camp since the moment I got there. My mom, who also went to camp, is still to this day friends with people she met there all those years ago. Through my sister, I started Nifty. Through Nifty, I have found more confidence in song leading, and now I am leading conventions and services at UH, and last few weeks ago, I led my cousin's bar mitzvah. I was struggling how to figure out how to end this, as endings are hard for anyone. But it's not the end. I don't have to say goodbye because I know that in my future, I will see most, if not all of you again, as my Jewish connections are strong in my life.
To me, being Jewish means going to services on the high holy days. It also means celebrating Pesach with family and friends and spending time with my family. Some other ways I like to spend time with my family is by lighting Hanukkah candles and reciting prayers. I also believe becoming a bar mitzvah was a fun experience for 2 reasons. 1, because of how much support I had and all the prayers there were. 2, the best part of becoming a bar mitzvah is reading the Torah portion. My Torah portion was about Noah's Ark. I like the story of Noah's Ark. Something I love about being Jewish is belonging to Nifty. Nifty is a great experience for me because I make friends and have fun. My years through religious school have been enjoyable too. I've made a lot of friends and had a lot of fun with them. I went to visit Israel to see what life is like there. I've heard a little bit about what life is like there, but I want to go there myself. Being a madrich in religious school for the first time was a great experience. I learned as a madrich that I'm not strict, and I got to know some of the younger students. Going forward, I will continue to learn about Judaism and be connected with my friends.
Being Jewish means understanding the person I am today and continuing to grow into the person I want to be in the future. I'll be completely honest, I never loved going to religious school. I often fought with my parents, telling them that Sundays were supposed to be a break from school. But ultimately, I want to thank them for making me go. I do not think I would have been able to find what Judaism truly means to me without attending. For me, Judaism means family. My family and I spend Shabbat together every week at my grandparents' house with my aunts, uncles, and cousins. We've been doing this since before I was born. And prior to that, my mother and her family observed Shabbat at her grandmother's house, my Gigi. But for me, this is not just about traditions. It is a deeply meaningful and personal experience. Through my weekly Shabbat gatherings with my family, I have learned that the importance of coming together as a family and a community and cherishing our time together. I have seen firsthand how traditions and rituals have the power to bring us closer to each other and to our religion. My family's support and guidance has provided me with a strong foundation in Judaism and has helped me develop a deeper understanding of my faith and traditions. As I continue on my journey as a Jewish individual, I hope to continue upholding these values and traditions. I hope to pass them down to my own children and to inspire others to do the same. Being Jewish has enriched my life in countless ways, and I am grateful for the opportunity to share this special part of myself. It is through the examples set by my family that I have learned the importance of living life guided by love, and boy, do we need a little bit more of that in the world. As I move forward in my life, I am committed to living by the values I have learned from my family and being a source of good in the world. I hope that I can use what I've learned to make a positive impact on people around me. I want to be part of making the world a better place. To quote one of my favorite Broadway musicals, Wicked, "Some things I cannot change, but till I try, I'll never know." We join together in singing Mi Chamocha on page 8.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha edar b'kodesh, nora tehilo Moshe Pelech. Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? Moses and the children cross the sea. They sing to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Ha'elim Adonai, mi chamocha netar b'kodesh, nora tegilot, oseh felech, mi chamocha ha'elim Adonai, mi chamocha netar b'kodesh.
I'm Jewish. For my whole life, this has been my normal. I can't remember a time I questioned it. I grew up at United Hebrew from the time I was a toddler, and my family lit the candles for Shabbat at my grandma's house. Judaism has just always been there. I can't remember a time when it wasn't woven throughout my life. As I get older, I realize it is also more. It is part of my identity. My Jewish identity and faith means I go to services for the high holidays with my family. It means I teach the next generation about Judaism when I work at Sunday school as a madrachim and during the week and summers when I teach at a Jewish preschool. One of the parts of my life where I feel my Jewishness the most is a place that has played such an important part of my life, being part of my Gucci community. When I think of Judaism in my life, I think back to the beautiful Saturday morning services at my camp and the family gatherings on Jewish holidays. All of these things help me feel connected because these strong Jewish roots, the relationships that I've formed, and the traditions that mean so much to me, I look forward to what my Judaism will look like as I continue to grow. I am certain it will continue to play an important part of my life.
Today, I confirm that I identify as someone who is Jewish, and I formally recognize the importance of this identity in my life. From attending Sunday school this year, I have confirmed my Jewish identity by gaining knowledge on a few topics that I have found to make me proud of my being Jewish. For me, I have become more connected for my identity through learning about Jewish history and Jewish culture, as well as understanding the why for traditions, whether that be holidays or just daily traditions. I would like to expand on these two topics and what they mean to me. For history, Jewish history goes back thousands and thousands of years. We learned about history starting from biblical stories to the times under Rome and Byzantium, to the Holocaust and the creation of Israel, to modern Jewish history, mostly pertaining to American Jews. Through learning history, I was able to not only understand the history of our ancestors, but also learn how I can apply this history to myself and decide what it means to me. I now know more of the struggles of our people and the perpetually uphill battle that our ancestors had to fight in order to hold on to their Jewish identity and, in many cases, their lives. In addition to this, I was able to use history to understand my identity as a Jewish American. I learned about the surprisingly long history of Jewish people in this country, as well as the impact that our people have had here, further creating a sense of pride and obligation to continue our traditions. For culture, I am a very tradition-oriented person, and I love studying different cultures, so understanding Jewish culture on a deeper level was essential for my connection with religion and ethnicity. Of course, I have been participating in this culture my entire life, so I wanted to know why, not what or how. The most notable example for me was a lesson about Passover, where we discussed traditions such as retelling this. We had a lesson about Passover. We talked about retelling of the story, and more notably, the Seder plate. We went through all of the items and their symbolism. The item we spoke about the most was matzah. I asked many questions about why matzah is used as a symbol and what it symbolizes specifically. The conclusion that we reached was that matzah is a bread of poverty because it's calorically dense and incredibly simple. However, it is also something that we enjoy and do so much with. I believe this shows an incredible aspect of the Jewish people. We will work with what we have and create joy with it. For these reasons, I confirm my commitment to staying Jewish throughout my life. Thank you.
At this point in my life, I affirm the following about my being Jewish. Never shall I forget. My mind's a guise. Sometimes I'll drop my eyes trying to sacrifice sight for time, but the bus is never late. I affirm that I realize there'll be times I find pain. I feel rage. I seek stains. However, I confirm that I'll never believe I can't see bangs, a permanent promise of change. Shall I have a share in the world to come? Purpose is hard to come by, and religion is an influential aid in understanding how to live. No matter what we do to improve life, we have no guaranteed control over its outcome. The most fulfilling part of my Jewish identity has been that educational empowerment for me to pursue purpose. I have gained a valuable trait of being encouraged to explore and question. My identity is to be open and willing to change philosophy in a way that enriches my existence. It is this belief that I consider my faith in Judaism and this question. I've been waiting on this my whole life. Becoming Jewish, this graduation, this affirmation of confirmation, means that people will view me as a Jew. I represent it, and I live it with pride. It's my responsibility to fill the gap through the mind's filter into the vessels of others. God calls all of us to be stronger, and stronger means expression with deliberation, to be resilient towards those who might not have the same patience. I have to love myself, because love is the bridge. It takes guts to live that way. It takes guts to live. And this part of my life, my love, my Jewishness, is a part of me that I understand. I know that I won't know it anymore when I get older, because it will have changed entirely then. And I will understand it just as much as I do now. I will know it just as much. Let it be known. Did I forget where I was going? I remember sitting at services when I would listen to the rabbi's sermons and hang on to every word. The thrill of late night activities with the youth group, bouncing up and down on one of those squeaky chairs, singing with the congregation, feeling peaceful. The feeling is gone, but I haven't forgotten it. The lessons the cantor taught me while I studied to become a bar mitzvah, the talks I had with friends that helped me heal, the lessons I learned from teaching. I forgot that I remember it all so profoundly. It will always be there. I affirm this about my being Jewish. I will never forget. Thank you. Please rise for the Amidah.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi yagid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevii Geula Livnei Bneihem, Lema'an Shemo Ta'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach U'Magen. Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Gibor La'olam Adonai, Mechayel HaKol Atara V'Hoshia, Mori Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Kohoim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit, Umechayem, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanata l'chayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol.
Lador vador nagi gadlecha. To all generations we will declare your greatness, and for all eternity proclaim your holiness. Your praise, O God, shall never depart from our lips. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. Baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh. Please be seated. For me, being Jewish means tradition and community. Judaism is something I can always rely on and something that will always be there. No matter where I am in life, I always come back to United Hebrew on the high holidays. Whether I was at Green Trails Elementary School and sad about missing a day of recess, or in high school and stressed about missing an AP World lesson, every year I skip school and sit through services in this exact room. Every Passover, I sit around the table in my dining room and read the Haggadah. Every Hanukkah, I light the candles and open presents on the fireplace. This aspect of tradition is the most important thing about being Jewish to me, and I will continue these traditions no matter where I am in my life. Another important Jewish tradition in my life is camp. Every summer, I go back to Jewish summer camp, whether that was Camp Emeth for the first half of my life or Camp Sabra for the second. The memories made at these special places are ones I will never forget. Last summer, when I was in my final year of being a camper at Camp Sabra, the Judaics leader asked what being Jewish means to us, and if we gave a good enough answer, we would receive a JR, which is apparently his acronym for a Jolly Rancher. This question really made me think, mostly because I wanted a Jolly Rancher, but also because I had never really thought about it before. As I thought about it, I realized that that moment was the answer. Sitting at my favorite place with my favorite people, making pure memories such as laughing at the acronym JR, I realized that this is what being Jewish means to me. The community and experience Judaism has brought into my life are so special. Another example of this is BBYO, which is a Jewish youth group. In February, I attended BBYO's International Convention in Dallas, where thousands of Jewish teens from all over the world came together for a weekend. It was such a cool experience being in the presence of so many people who share one common thing, which was Judaism. I made so many friends and met so many cool people from so many different parts of the world. This sense of community and being a part of something bigger than myself is the most important part of my Jewish identity. Even though this chapter of my Jewish education is ending, I can't wait to see where it takes me in the future.
Being Jewish to me means going to Camp Sabra, celebrating holidays, and being here at UH. When I go to camp, it helps me with my Jewish identity. I feel part of a community, from dancing and singing to screaming our lungs out with cheers during meals to Shabbat night services. Shabbat night services are a time when the whole camp comes together. Not only do we have fun and, of course, eat good food, but we say prayers and are all together as one. Next, celebrating Jewish holidays. From shaking the lulav on Sukkot, to eating matzah that tastes like cardboard on Passover, to spinning dreidels on Hanukkah, to running around Purim trying to get the most tickets so I can get the best prizes. Throughout all of these holidays, I've made memories with the people who are here today. Lastly, UH. UH has become a place where I feel at home. Even if I didn't want to come here every Sunday and waste my weekend, I realized it was important and has taught me a lot about my Judaism and about myself. It is the place where I've made friends, memories, and laughs, and had great food, become a bat mitzvah, and of course, come to feel more Jewish. Without all of these things, I wouldn't be where I am today, standing here on the bima, confirming my Jewish identity.
Hold on to your seats, folks. This is going to be a thriller. At this point in my life, I can confirm the following about my Judaism. I am proud to be part of a very vibrant and diverse community that celebrates many traditions with enthusiasm and joy. Growing up, I had the privilege of experiencing many aspects of Jewish life that has shaped who I am today. One of the most memorable and enjoyable parts of being Jewish for me is celebrating the holidays. From spinning the dreidel on Hanukkah to eating matzah on Passover, these moments are filled with meaning and fond memories. These experiences that I share with my family and others in the Jewish community are truly special. Another significant part of being Jewish that has stuck with me today was attending religious school on Sundays, better known to some as Sunday school. While it wasn't always easy to have to go to another school during the week and on the weekend of all times, I now truly understand how valuable that experience was. Learning about the Torah, Jewish history, and having many discussions, along with shenanigans, have helped me create a strong sense of identity and connection to my Judaism. Of course, no conversation about being Jewish would be complete without mentioning the food. From challah to latkes to brisket, there's no shortage of delicious dishes. Whether it's a holiday meal, youth group dinner, or good old family dinner time, there's always something tasty and comforting to enjoy. But perhaps the most meaningful aspect of being Jewish for me was the sense of community and belonging that it provides, all the way from being 7 years old, entering the synagogue's door for the first time with a wide grin and intentions to make friends, to now standing a foot taller and a wiser mind. I have changed greatly, and my Judaism has shaped me. I have made lifelong memories and friendships with other Jewish kids and families. I've done this throughout my time at United Hebrew and through the various classes and youth group outings it has provided. Whether it is through seeing familiar faces when I walk in the door with my usual antics trying to get a kick out of everyone, or having debates with others over Jewish history, I always felt a sense of connection and camaraderie with those around me. As I reflect on my journey as a Jew, I feel grateful for the many experiences and opportunities that have shaped me today. While my relationship with Judaism has evolved from over time from being Jew-ish to Jewish, I now know that I will always be a part of who I am. I find joy and safety in these traditions that have been passed down through generations, and I look forward to continuing to celebrate these traditions, ideas, and stories with others in the community for many years to come. In conclusion, being Jewish is a rich and rewarding experience that has shaped my life today in numerous ways, from celebrating holidays to learning about Jewish history to enjoying delicious food. There is just so much to appreciate. But above all, like I said before, it's that sense of community and connection that makes being Jewish truly special for me. I feel proud to be part of this vibrant and diverse community, and I look forward to exploring and growing as a Jewish adult in the future. Now, while this may be my last time standing on this bima as a member of class of 2023, it will not be my last as an ever-growing Jewish adult. Thank you. One second, guys. We pause now for a moment of quiet meditation and personal prayer.
shalom bimromam. Hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ve'ato Yisrael. Ve'al kol yoshei tevel. Ve'imru. Shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshei tevel, ve'imru. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Da 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 da
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Because this is a Saturday morning service, we are extremely lucky that it means we get to share in one of the central acts of being Jewish, which is celebrating and reading from the Torah. And so, I invite everyone to please rise as we open our ark and remove our Torah for our Torah service.
Tihon Teitzei Torah, Ki Mitzion Teitzei Torah, Udefar Adonai Birushalayim, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Baruch Shenatan Torah, Torah, Le'amo Yisrael Be'kerushato. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu Gadol, Adonenu Kadosh. Shemo Gadol Adonai iti, Uneromema Shemo Yachadav, Lecha Adonai HaGedol, Yagefurah, Yatiferet, Ve'anetzach Ve'gavod. Kihol b'shamayim v'aretz, Kihol b'shamayim v'aretz. Lecha Adonai ha'malachot, Ve'atmiet na'aseh.
This week we begin a new book of the Torah. We are in Parshat Bamidbar, the book of Numbers, which speaks about counting the Israelite people. And so we're going to read from the beginning of this book, chapter 1, verses 1 through 3, and I invite up some of our confirmation students to help lead us in our blessings, both before and after. Why don't you come on up as well? And we will begin with our blessing before reading of the Torah on page 14. Adonai Hamvorach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. וידבר אדוני אל משה במדבר סיני באוהל מועד באחד לחודש השני בשנה השנית לצאתם מארץ מצרים לאמור שאו את ראש כל עדת בני ישראל למשפחותם לבית אבותם במספר שמות כל זכר לגולגלותם מבין 20 שנה ומעלה כל יוצאי צבא בישראל תפקדו אותם לצאתם אתה ואהרון.
And on page 15, the blessing after.
Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torah emet v'chayei olam nata b'tovenu Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
And so while we have the Torah in our midst, before we dress it and place it back lovingly into our ark, we think of those in our community who perhaps could use some extra prayers, prayers of strength and healing. And so this morning, I hope that you will hold in your heart and mind all those who you could share those prayers with. And so on page 15, we join together in singing Misha Berach, our prayer of healing.
Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBaracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who bless the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
We truly wish all those in need of healing a refuah shlema, a return to wholeness and of health. As we read our Torah, we said a blessing before and a blessing after. We can read Torah anytime, but adding those blessings make it ritual, make it symbol. And that is why we lift our Torah at the end for everyone to see. And particularly this Shabbat, as we lift the Torah, because it's a new book, you'll see a break in the text that shows the end and the new beginning. And so I want you to look for that as we lift our Torah. Everyone, please rise as we lift, dress, and return our Torah to the ark.
וזאת התורה אשר שם משה לבני בני ישראל על פי אדוני ביד משה. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים, על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. על התורה ועל עבודה ועל גמירות חסדים. על התורה ועל עבודה ועל גמילות חסדים. עץ חיים היא למחזיקים עמה בתומכך מאושר. דרכי נועם וכל נתיבותיך שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חודש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
Well, confirmation class of 2023, 5783, you made it. You're finally here, your moment of confirmation. And so far, and I really mean this, I wrote it before, but I really truly mean it, you are doing phenomenally. You've shared your personal statements, speaking about who you are as Jewish young adults in this moment. You've helped lead our service, but most importantly, you've engaged in deep and meaningful Jewish learning, not only over this past year, but throughout your time in religious school and other settings such as camp, youth group, and in each of your homes. You should be proud of yourselves, because this is not easy. What you've done today takes courage, commitment, self-awareness, and at times more than a bit of work. To stand up in front of your family, your friends, your entire community, and say out loud, I am Jewish, and to mean it is no small thing. And to say, I am Jewish because, which is what you've all done today, is greater still. You should be proud of yourselves. Okay, your job. Now look out into the community. Look out into the congregation. Find your family. If you might be having a little trouble feeling proud of yourselves right now, don't worry, because they're proud for you and proud of you. And after the service, when you go up to give them a hug, I hope you all will say thank you. Because whether you made it to religious school and through confirmation of your own accord, or needed, let's just say, a little convincing, they helped you get to this moment. And for all the parents out there, whether they say it or perhaps forget it between now and then, allow me to say it. Thank you. Thank you for raising smart, independent, intelligent teens, and for lending them to us every Sunday morning and at many other times. Thank you for encouraging them, supporting them, driving them, and for many of you, I'm sure at times, pushing and even fighting with them to continue their formal Jewish education. Because, as you can see, they've turned into impressive Jewish young adults. And I've so enjoyed teaching them all year long. They are, and you are, a wonderful group, a wonderful community of Jewish adults. And throughout this year, we have had meaningful conversations, from God to Israel, anti-Semitism, and the Holocaust, to talking about the power of words, tzedakah, happiness, sacrifice, and success. Not to mention the occasional, sometimes random asides, let's call them. We would get off track from time to time. The one that I remember most clearly, and I'm still not exactly sure how we got there, was getting onto the difference between monkeys and apes. I don't really remember how we got there, but luckily I'm well covered to handle that because I studied anthropology, in particular evolution, in school. Not rabbinical school, Michigan. But the activity that you all seem to enjoy the most is the timelines. And so, today, I want to create one more timeline for you. So I want you to picture that green string that we used all year long. Picture it hanging up here in the sanctuary, from one end all the way across to the other. Imagine it stretching all the way. This is your timeline. The timeline of your Jewish life. Let's say, like usual, it starts over here on our left, all the way over here. And right now, I'd say we're all the way over to the far wall, you're probably about here in your Jewish life. Maybe a fifth. Just about there. And right there, today, we would hang for confirmation a big picture of all of you. There's that little paper clip there, the piece of paper. You see it all, right? Okay. Now, look to the left of that. To the left of that, from confirmation all the way to the beginning, is already completely filled in. You may be thinking, I haven't done that much, but you have. You really have. Each of you have done so much already, things you don't even remember. Your birth, your naming, your first day of school, first day of religious school, learning to read Hebrew, your B'nai Mitzvah, camp, Nifty, BBYO, all the holidays, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur, Sukkot, Hanukkah, Tu B'Shvat, Purim, Passover, Shavuot, one for each year. Shabbat, 52 for each year. Family traditions, life cycle celebrations, the list goes on and on. But here's the key. Many of you struggled with the idea that confirmation, again, coming over here, right about here, confirmation is kind of the end, but it's not really the end. Well, I'm here to tell you that it really is just the beginning. Because you have the rest of this timeline, the rest of your life to fill in with Jewish experiences. And my challenge for you is to try to fill in that timeline as densely as the beginning of your life has been filled in. This may seem daunting, but Judaism makes it quite easy. And all you have to do is keep doing what you're doing. Celebrate those Jewish holidays. They happen every year. You can already see them set up there for you. The paperclip's already up there. So celebrate those holidays. Sorry, lost track of my spot. Celebrate those holidays. Again, they happen every year. And every single week, I challenge you to find a moment to be proud of and act on your Jewish identity. That's Shabbat. Whenever you find that moment, make that your Shabbat. Continue all of those family traditions, whether you're at home with your family or you're away. Find Jewish communities, engage with them. Seek out Hillel and other Jewish groups in college. Stay involved with camp and other organizations. Keep in touch with your friends from those places, and of course, here at United Hebrew. And as you go through life, find moments of joy and celebrate and make life meaningful, because that's what Judaism is about. And this confirmation is just the beginning. Now, here's where I want to end, because this timeline is miraculous. Look over to the left again. Look over to the left. See the beginning. Now imagine that that string stretches through the wall, going further and further back. And as it goes, you'll see so many things already hung up there. You'll see events from your parents' lives, your grandparents' lives, great-grandparents, and generations of your family, stretching back to some of those pieces of paper we saw during the year, going all the way back to Sinai and the beginning of Jewish tradition. That's the legacy you carry with you. Now look to the other side. Look to the right. And the string stretches out in that direction too. That's your children and your children's children, future generations of the Jewish people. And you know what? You all get to create that legacy, the legacy that they will carry. Because in every generation, Judaism has to be reaffirmed and created anew. Each of us, all of you, all of us, has to find our own meaning and create and shape our Jewish identities, both individually and collectively. This is the joyous opportunity before you, before all of us, today and every single day of our lives. I only pray that we can all stand up from time to time, like you all are doing today, and joyously proclaim, I am Jewish and I am proud. If we can do that, we're going to do some amazing things, and I know that you all will help lead the way. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Thank you, Rabbi Reinhardt. And thank you to our students for a beautiful, beautiful service. And as you think about your timeline, and as many of you spoke, ritual is an important component. And you've shared with us your thoughts this morning. And so now we come to that ritual moment where you, each one of you, will stand before the ark and affirm or confirm for yourselves this moment of confirmation. We aren't confirming you. You are confirming for yourselves and affirming for yourselves. And for our families, in a moment we are going to open our ark curtains. Because we're going to go through all of our students, we're not going to ask you to rise. Otherwise, you'll be standing for a while. However, if it is important for you to stand while the ark curtains are open, I invite you to move toward the back of our sanctuary and stand. That way you are not blocking anybody who might want to see the students come forward for their confirmation. And so now I invite Cantor Eicher to join us on the bima, and I invite our confirmation class to please rise. We invite forward Mason Marks and Maxwell Banashek. Jack Faintage and Zachary Solomon. Samantha Renee Lips, Zachary Waltz. Emma Malter and Andrew Rubin. Sadie Levy, Clara Marin Bass. Allie Schenberg and Rachel Audrey Bivens. Got it. Rebecca Hunt and Carly David Alper. We're now going to ask the parents of our confirmation class to please rise. And on page 16, there is a parent blessing. We're going to ask our class to please turn and face your parents so that they may offer this blessing to you. Together, what I wish for you, I wish for all our children. I wish for you to be a person of character, strong but not tough, gentle but not weak. I wish for you to be righteous but not self-righteous, honest but not unforgiving. I pray that your past guides you to embrace your traditions. I pray that your present aids you in choosing a path of peace. I pray that your future is one in which all of your hopes and dreams are realized so that you may prosper. Wherever you journey, may your steps be firm, and may you walk in just paths and not be afraid.